My name is Selvin Clark. I'm chair of Hands and Handwork Resident Network. The Hands and Handwork Resident Network is made up of different residents organizations. So we all represent one block in regards to Hands and Handwork Resident Network. Different members of the community are members of Hands and Handwork Network. We want to educate the residents, and some of the rubbish come from outside as well. But we want to educate everybody to know then that they must try and keep the place clean, because it's in their interest to keep the place clean, because you can walk proudly and say, well, I live in Handsworth. By living in Handsworth, you feel good.
What do children and young people like about living in Handsworth?
I like Handsworth because of the area and the environment. They are nice people which make the environment feel friendly. I used to live in Edgbaston and now I've moved to Handsworth and I love it.
I like living in Handsworth because there's so much things to do. You can go to the stores, go to the park with your friends and hang out, things like that.
I like Handsworth because of the swing and I like being safe on it. And then in the park, there's the little babies part and my mum likes me playing in it sometimes, like on the big swings. And then I play on the big part.
I like living in Handsworth because it is a welcoming place and a nice place to play with friends.
What I like about living in Handsworth is everybody's local and there's a lot of things to do.
I like living in Handsworth because the road has a lot of safe things in there because of the traffic lights and it makes it really easy to cross.
What would children and young people change about the environment in Handsworth?
If I had to change something in Handsworth, I would change the amount of litter on the streets.
I would change the amount of cigarette butts in the streets on Handsworth. It's not nice to see cigarette butts everywhere you walk.
I would change the leaves so it's clear, the pathway so people don't trip over.
In Handsworth, I would like to change the amount of rubbish outside of people's house because it's not nice to walk around it.
In Handsworth, I would like to change the amount of litter because everywhere you go, all you can see is litter around Handsworth.
I would change in Handsworth when people spray paint on the wall and it looks like a really bad view on the walls and everywhere.
In Handsworth, I would change the amount of litter that I see all around me because it's not welcoming for visitors around us. And I'd also change the amount of litter that I see in the park because not that many people would like to come in the park because it's not welcoming.
In Handsworth, I would like to change the amount of facilities for young people, as if we change these, the young people will stay off the street.
What is the Street Champions Project?
Hello, I'm Sonia Hyman, Vice Chair of the Hands and Handsworth Resident Network and Handsworth Street Champion Coordinator. As a street champion, we do a lot of litter pickings with the kids. We go around and we do various street litter picking. Sometimes we get skips and we ask people to help us to clean the area up, and if they got any rubbish hanging around, then we ask them to put in the skip. So therefore we got loads of residents who would come out and help us to keep the street clean. Big lottery funding has enabled us to produce Street Champions Resident Members Pack, which gives residents lots of useful information and contact information about how to deal with, report and solve environmental issues in the community. Coordinator for community clean-up days in different Handsworth community settings, including the replanting of street planters boxes. It has enabled us to create a Street Champion resource box which has tabbards and litter picks available for the community to learn, and also engage Handsworth residents in activities to enable them to create their own hanging baskets. We've been able to develop a community planting space in an area heavily affected by fly tipping, and also deliver a family learning hanging basket session, tree planting and create raised beds for a grow your own food project at Rookery School. We took part in a grow your own food awareness session at St. John Wall School. We're also very proud that two of our original Junior Street champions, Vanessa and Shannon, have developed a brilliant Junior Street champion program, proving that young people can very much be part of the solution in making Handsworth cleaner and greener.
Hi, I'm Shannon. Hi, I'm Vanessa. And together we're Street Champions and creator of the new Junior Street Champions program for children and young people living in Handsworth.
Why did you become a Junior Street Champion?
I became a Junior Street Champion because I felt like the community was going downgrading and it needed to regain that boost, so I wanted to make a change in the community. There's a lot has changed since I've been living here, so I've been living here for a long time and the road is not the same as it used to be, kids playing on the streets and it's so clean, but now since it's been changing a lot with a mess on the floor and everything, it's not been much safe for kids to be outside basically, and we needed some kids that needed to stand up and show that you shouldn't be scared to help your community, and I felt like it was right for me to help and join the community. In 2014, we started working on developing a Junior Street Champion program. The process started by designing a logo and working on a branding which was bright and colourful and could be used for creating member packs and putting together our Junior Street Champions website. Inside our packs, young people will find lots of resources which will help them keep Handsworth clean and green. There's a litter log to help children and young people keep log of how much litter they collect during litter picks. The 14-day recycling challenge, which encourages young people to see how many items they can recycle over a 2-week period. A street check from the form. This allows young people to record and monitor issues in the community, such as safety, litter and fly tipping, graffiti and broken street lights. There's also a guide to how children and young people can get involved in our online environmental digital badge system. Creative children and young people can even design their own digital badge. We currently have 2 schools in Handsworth sign up to take part in our online badges. Children and young people can take part in our environmental task, quizzes and activities which once completed will be awarded with an online badge. Each badge is worth different points which a member can keep track online. Our digital badges are Activity Quest, Membership and Avatar badges awarded to new members who join the programme and design their own cartoon avatar. The Little Pick badge, Environmental Blog badge, young people writing about environmental issues which affect their school or community. Designing an environmental poster badge. Develop a creative environmental solution badge, giving young people the opportunity to identify a problem and suggest and implement a creative solution to the problem. Street check badge, recycling badge, digital badge, designer badge, asking children and young people to design a new environmental badge which may even get added to the program.
To achieve our knowledge, badges, children and young people have to undertake free online quizzes testing their knowledge of graffiti, recycling and rubbish. To achieve our learning badges, children and young people have to attend workshops in the community.
Children and people ask the professionals.
Why is it important to keep Handsworth clean and green?
Because I think the residents deserve it. We deserve to have a clean environment to live in. People deserve to, when they come out of their homes, that they're proud of where they live. And people don't want to see dirt on the street. They don't want to see rubbish. They don't want to see unkempt bits of grass, and it looks as if people don't care about it. People pay taxes and they want to ensure that where they live is clean and tidy, and they deserve that.
What ways do you support residents to keep Handsworth cleaner and greener?
Residents often contact me when there's rubbish that's been dumped there, dumped in areas across the area that I represent that shouldn't be there. I try and call upon Birmingham City Council's Fleet and Waste Management team to come and collect that rubbish. I also work with local community groups to carry out action days in particular hotspot areas. So if there's an area which constantly has people dumping rubbish there, we work and sometimes resource that through funding work with local community groups to come and collect, work with the local community, young people in the community, faith institutions, as well as community groups, all come together to clean up that particular area of the ward.
How can children and young people get involved in keeping Handsworth clean and green, and why is this important for the community?
Young people are a really important part of our community and they're our future. I think it's important for them to learn about, disposing of litter properly and pass a message around with regards to their friends and their peers, and even speaking to mum and dad if they're putting the rubbish out on the wrong day and saying to them, when's collection day? We need to put the rubbish out on the right day. So it's very important for the young people of Handsworth and Birmingham to keep our cities clean and green, and you're a very important part of this process by passing the message around to everybody and obviously telling your family members and your younger brothers and sisters.
Ms McLaughlin, how do you motivate children and young people of Handsworth to keep their area greener and cleaner?
We do various things at the school. The school council do a lot of work. We get them to put on assemblies. We get them to go around form groups to motivate the pupils to use the bins that are out on the playground. And also the teachers on duty encourage the pupils to use bins as well and not to bring out litter onto the playground after they've had some lunch.
What punishments and fines can people face for environmental issues such as litter, fly tipping, dog fouling and graffiti?
Okay, for example, we'll start with fly tipping. If somebody fly tips waste on our streets, we've got a process we have to follow with regards to investigating it, and it's investigated under the Environmental Protection Act, and that's a piece of criminal legislation. So what would happen is we would need to find out who's actually carried out the fly tipping, and there could be fines up to £20,000 with regards to fly tipping. Dog fouling, for example, is something else that our dog wardens look at. And dog wardens, if they see somebody taking a dog out for a walk and the dog fouls, they have got legal powers to speak to the person who's the owner of the dog and take the name, the date of birth. Sometimes things can be a little bit tricky and they might not give their information, which is an offence, so they'd get the police involved. And there could be fines of up to £80 with regards to the dog fouling. There's also fines with regards to adults. For example, someone's eaten a McDonald's and they've thrown the packaging on the floor, and one of our enforcement officers see them dropping the litter on the floor. We can actually go to them, get information from them with regards to the name, the date of birth, and issue them fixed penalty notices of up to £80 again. However, I would like to make it clear that it doesn't discharge the Birmingham City Council's responsibility. We also clean the streets as well, but we want to work with businesses and local communities to keep our area nice and clean for everybody.
How are you involved in improving the environment in Handsworth?
I do help local groups when they do clean-up sessions and what have you. But as a councillor, my role more involves if residents are complaining about the state of the streets, we will then inform the authorities or the powers that be and ensure that the streets get cleaned up.
What environmental work do St John Ward get involved in the community?
What we do is the Year 8s have an Environment Day, and the police gladly volunteer their services and come out with the pupils, and we go actually out into the community and walk around the streets and pick up any litter on the roads, on the footpaths and outside the shops as well. And the community can clearly see that we want our area to be nice and clean.
It's important to educate our young people and our children about the environment, because you are going to make the changes. You live in this area, you live and play in this area, you know what's going on, and when you get older you want to change things. And we are creatures of habit, and we have to change the behaviours in how we actually want to actually treat other people and how we want to treat our environment. And for us to do that, we need to educate youngsters to change those behaviours at a very early age, so it becomes habits to you guys. And what we're doing at Rookery is changing your behaviours by using the playground area, changing all of that to make that nice and safe and different for you. We're also using our fields with the gardening aspect. We want to encourage you to grow your own crops and bring your parents in to do some projects with them to grow their own crops and to think about how we can save the environment in that aspect. We also do our eco area, where we've got our eco centre, which shows you how to actually change the how we can make electricity in different ways. And we're also taking part in the Street Champions project, which obviously encourages you lot to go outside of the school premises and to look at the environment outside and to do something about that in a positive way.
How can wheelie bins improve the Handsworth area?
I think it will make a huge improvement. In other areas where wheelie bins have already been introduced, it has made a big difference. The streets are a lot cleaner, and also recycling has increased. It's important that we all recycle far more than we've done in the past. I don't think it will totally eradicate the issue of rubbish within our communities. I think we need to take a greater ownership as communities of the rubbish within our communities, but it will certainly make a big improvement.
Why would you encourage people to get involved in the Street Champions?
I would encourage other people to become street champion, to enable them to keep their area clean and to make sure that the place is not dirty, for it's a cleaner city for us to use and for our young people to enjoy.
The reason why I would encourage kids to join is it's really good, and it teaches kids that you shouldn't really be dumping on the streets and everything, because it's bad for the environment, and they should know that. And it's setting a good example towards kids, teach them about what they could do to make the streets better, just putting litter in the bin. And yeah, it would be good for kids to help us as well.
We are very proud of the area, so we would like to fight to be kept clean. And why the children them are doing it to tell their parents, and their parents educate their parents as well. And we are very proud of Handsworth, because we know Handsworth is a very nice place to live. And we are very, very proud of this area. And we like it to be kept clean and tidy.
I like living in Handsworth because everybody's just knows everybody, and it's really nice seeing everybody that you know, and it's like a family, but we're not related in a way. So yeah, it's nice having friends around that you know and that would look out for you.
I think it's really important that as a community we all pull together to make sure we keep our streets clean. I think pride within Handsworth is essential. So young people, their parents, people in the community groups, we all need to pull together to ensure that our streets are clean, because if our streets are clean there'll be greater pride within our area, and Handsworth will be a far better area for us to live in, socialising, playing, working, if the roads were far cleaner.
I like living in Handsworth because everyone knows each other, and like when it's summer, it's actually really nice to like see the community be like really clean, us going out as friends and seeing people just enjoying their community.
If you're interested in getting involved in the Street Champion project or becoming a junior street champion, visit the website, or if you see me in the community, ask me more.